Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Just a couple more days until vacation.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
You're looking forward to it, aren't you?
It's kind of weird because I just took vacation. Christmas.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks.
I thought you were about to say COVID. I was like, COVID, not a vacation.
COVID was not. Not a vacation.
Yeah.
No. But then, I'm sure probably like the rest of the year, probably won't go anywhere or do anything. But, we're going to Disney World on Friday.
You.
Should be fun.
You and Jackie?
Yeah, that's how it started out.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. It started out me and Jackie.
Oh, no. It seems like there's more to this story.
Yeah, there's a little bit more.
Okay. Sorry.
Because now it's me and Jackie, our two youngest children, who are adults, though. But our son, our daughter, our other son who's married, his wife, her brother, and her sister.
Hold on a second.
So
How many people are going now?
I don't know, 30? I don't know.
Niner.
35?
Seriously?
60? I don't know. I've lost count.
And so, like,
I've lost count.
when you were planning this trip,
yeah.
Details were sketchy. Whenever we would ask you details, you're like, I don't know, maybe this week, maybe this, I don't know. We have to still get the rooms on stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, obviously, it was constantly morphing, apparently, behind the scenes.
Yes, it was constantly morphing. Yes, it was.
Oh, bro.
And that was, my idea in the beginning was, hey, you know what? Why don't we just go ourselves? We've never done that. And I think it'd be really fun. And she thought so, too. And then I don't know what the heck happened. It just exploded.
Okay, so
it exploded.
Next time you and Jackie want to take a vacation, don't mention it to anyone.
Right.
Like the day before, just go, by the way,
tomorrow we're going to be in Disney.
Can you get the paper?
Yeah.
Well, maybe no one, there's no
get
paper.
The paper. Welcome
Can you get the mail?
1996.
Can you water the plants? Because we're going to be gone as of 8 hours from now.
Right. That's I guess that's the way to do it.
I hope you have fun.
Jeez.
Florida,
beautiful,
right? This time of year,
beautiful. 50 degrees on Saturday.
Oh no!
50 and 32 at night.
Oh God!
50 and 32. You don't expect that in Orlando.
Nice timing by you.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, of course it was. And then I think on Sunday it's 53 and 32, and then 65, which is nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Good walking
around. In fact, then by like halfway through the next week, it's going to be a little too hot. It's going to be up to almost 80.
Wow, you're going to pack everything.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to pack everything.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So,
have fun.
Yeah, thank you.
And the prices at Disney, of course, just got jacked up. So.
Yes, they did. It was $319, I think, for a 2-day pass or something, and we're of course going to be there for a long time. Well, 8 days, 9 days. But yeah, they jacked up their prices, and I think you have to wear the mask when you're indoors, right? When you're inside the lines or something. I don't know.
And what is indoors? Like
irritating.
You know how like when you're waiting in line
at a restaurant for sure, and then when you're winding your way inside the attraction,
which is still technically outdoors most of the time.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So
have fun.
Yeah. Okay. So it's going to be fun. Yeah, it's going to be good. At least they said they're not going to close the park, so we don't have to worry about that. They said no matter how bad the pandemic gets, they can't close the park because they'd never open again. That's amazing. To think that the Disney World would go out of business if they shut down again.
I mean,
that's pretty amazing.
We constantly hear how Americans haven't saved anything, paycheck to paycheck, and you're always cutting it very close. Wow, Disney is in the same boat?
Disney, right? I know.
That's terrifying.
Very, and that's why supposedly that's why they raised their prices so much, because the pandemic killed them, and so they're going to kill us for going there.
Yeah, well,
so that's fun. It's fun.
Buy lots of souvenirs and just do your patriotic duty to keep big business going.
Exactly, because we're all worried about Disney, right? They're such a such a fragile little company.
Right.
I mean, they own everything.
Seriously.
It's hard to imagine that they really could be in trouble, but
it is.
Who knows?
And I guess they don't cross the streams, so that if Marvel is bringing in
that's the thing.
Bucket loads of money, too bad for the parks.
Right. That's my understanding. I don't know if that's actually how they run their business, but
they may
I think
be
they
changing that policy.
Right. Yeah, because I think the movie section is doing pretty well now, even with the pandemic. I think the movies are, doing really well. What was it that just? Oh yeah, is Spider-Man Marvel or is that DC?
Where am I?
Because Spider-Man is up to over 700 million.
Yeah, there was a big thing with that. Yeah, joint venture between Marvel and Sony. Thank you, Rob. Yeah.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, because they had to buy the rights back or something for
wow.
this. Have you seen that one? The latest Spider-Man movie?
Yeah, it's good.
So good.
It's really good.
I still haven't even taken, even though it's literally in my home, waiting for me on my TV. I haven't taken the time to watch Eternals yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, good.
I wasn't very impressed with the Eternals.
This doesn't look good.
Nah, it wasn't that good. It was okay. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't something I'd want to watch again, really. And plus, I'd never heard of the Eternals before.
Yeah.
Had you?
No, I don't follow any of that.
No,
I just sit down for the
really.
movies. And my kids fill in the blanks and tell me about none of the Easter eggs are here.
The kids pretty hip to the Eternals situation?
Oh, they haven't seen it either. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Because they're all over the Marvel stuff. But we're all trying to... That's just it. When you have 5 lives that are going in 5 different directions, that's one of the issues, is that finding a moment where you can all sit down and watch a movie together.
Yeah, true.
So
yeah. All right. Yesterday was a fun day at the White House as the president took some questions from people, and he didn't like the questions that were being asked because they were asking about Ukraine. And it was actually a press conference about inflation. And so somebody piped up and finally asked him about inflation and got smacked down for it. Here's Peter Doocy.
On his way out,
yelling at the president about inflation.
Why are you sending 8,500 troops to Ukraine, Congress? What do you think, President, on inflation back? Do you think inflation is a political liability?
That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
Okay. Speaking of stupid sons of bitches, how stupid do you have to be to say that in a live mic? You moron. You brain dead moron. That's a real asset. Inflation.
Yeah, so Doocy asked him, is that going to be a liability?
He asked him if it was a liability. Yeah. Is the inflation a political liability?
For the midterms, yeah.
For the midterms? Of course it is, but, and apparently, about an hour later, the president called Peter Doocy and didn't really apologize, but said there was nothing personal there. Yeah, nothing personal about being called a stupid son of a bitch.
Come on, man.
I mean, how would you take that personally? I don't know.
Needs to be call his parents or something.
Man.
Apologize to them. Yeah, that's he's good, man.
He's good. He's really,
else, right?
really good. Love him. This is why I can barely stand to look at the guy. I can barely stomach looking at him. A year ago, Joe Biden said he'd fire anybody.
Wait a minute, what?
Who talked that way.
Oh, wow.
I'm not joking when I say this.
He's not joking when he says it.
If you're ever working with me and I hear you treat another colleague with disrespect, talk down to someone, I promise you I will fire you on the spot.
You gotta be kidding me.
Has he fired himself yet?
You have got to be kidding me. Will anybody ask him about? I wonder if Peter Doocy will ask him about that today.
Oh, follow up, sir.
Follow up. Yeah, you said you'd fire anybody who talked down to people like that. What are you going to do to yourself? Maybe I don't want to know the answer to that question. Oh man, I just the hypocrisy is too much to take. It's really too much to take. How many times has he said things like this?
Yeah.
Where the way he acts is in exact opposition to what he said his administration was going to be all about just a while ago.
The press is calling him out for it, right? Like they're making sure.
Oh, yeah, they are.
That he's, held to the same standard that he set for his administration, right?
Brian Stelter, who is the media guy. He's the media watchdog.
Yeah.
Over at CNN.
What's his...
and
did he tweet something out yesterday?
He sure did. He tweeted out at the end of a Biden photo op when reporters shouted questions, hoping he'd respond. Fox's Peter Doocy asked, do you think inflation is a political liability in the midterms? Biden deadpanned, it's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
He deadpanned it. He's just a comedian president, just having a little fun.
Right. It's just, I'm just funning you. That's all I'm doing right now. Good morning, everybody. Calling a journalist.
So wait, now this tweet here. Right?
Oh, okay. This was from Donald Trump days.
2018. Brian Stelter tweeted this.
Donald Trump was president. Brian had a little bit different take.
Did he?
He didn't call it deadpanned. Calling a journalist a son of a bitch. It was wrong when Trump was just a candidate, and it's even worse now that he's POTUS. Okay.
Seems a little different take.
A little different. Yeah, a little different. He didn't deadpan? Really? He wasn't deadpanning? Huh. That's weird. That's really weird. Brian.
Oh, gosh.
The worst.
I can't.
CNN is just unbelievably bad.
And he's like one of the worst. I almost said the worst of the worst, but no. There's still Don Lemon.
Oh,
and
Lemon.
There's
my gosh,
right? I mean, so you can't.
It's
really
hard.
Say
Yeah, that's hard.
And then
even Jake Tapper has ruined himself at CNN.
Yeah.
And so,
but I will say, while you were out with COVID, I think we had 3 days in a row that Joe brought in clips. I think I heard one of them. She caught a couple of them. Like 3 days in a row. I don't know who switched Jake Tapper when the calendar flipped to 2022, but he was actually a journalist asking good questions.
Oh, really?
For three. So, I don't know if there's a new trend with him, but it was fascinating. It's almost like, wow, welcome back.
Was Jill a fan of his like we were at one time? Or she was just pointing out
just catching this stuff.
Yeah.
I think she was probably designated CNN watcher for us that week.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. So I don't know. Let's keep an eye on Tapper. And see if he is coming back around like in a Bill Maher sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, in fact, I guess Rob just got in my ear. He said he's looking for one of those examples here if you want to see.
Okay.
While you were away, but I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if more people on the left are going to get to their senses.
Yeah, because
going over a lot of these election laws, I went in preparing for today, and I saw, you know what? New Jersey doesn't allow ballot harvesting, and that's a Democratic state. Delaware doesn't allow the kind of early voting that a lot of other states do.
Okay, yeah, this is good.
How come? But then the journalist in me, as well as the cynic, says, well, how come Democrats only complain about the voting?
Thank you.
Strict voting regulations in red states, in Texas
Right.
and Georgia.
Thank you.
And
they're not strict,
Democratic
by the way.
states like New York.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, and that was one of several examples. Boom, 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 3 days in a row.
Well, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good one because that's about the voting law and how absurd the voting law was and how everybody's crying about how unreasonable Georgia and Texas are with their voting laws when, as he pointed out, Delaware, New Jersey, none of those states have more easy voting laws than Texas and Georgia. In fact, Delaware doesn't have early voting at all. At all.
Yeah.
We've got, is it 17, 19 days of it? Somewhere in there.
Oh, yeah, here in Texas.
Yeah. And we have stretched out the hours available.
Yeah, part of that, if I'm not mistaken, part of that new voting law in Texas
was lengthening.
Yeah, extended out.
Yes.
What do you want?
Yes.
But
I think Sunday voting was shortened. Every other day was lengthened. Right? It was something like 7 to 7 every day for 18 days. And on the last Sunday, you could only vote like 8 to 5. Oh, my gosh. What a tragedy.
Disenfranchised.
Why don't you want black people to vote? The only day they can vote is that last Sunday of early voting.
Yeah, I was going to roll in there at 6:55 p.m. on Sunday night, and you're telling
now
me...
they can't. Now they can't.
I mean, what kind of society is this?
And you're going to ask them to have an ID with them. Black people don't have IDs.
Right. Where's the DMV? I don't know.
They don't know. They don't know where the DMV is.
But I appreciate that Tapper clip because he went 3 steps there. He not only pointed out states like Delaware and New York, right? But then he says, well, why are Democrats only complaining about Georgia and Texas? And then he went a step further and says, they only protest red state voting laws. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. Yeah, they should be bitching, moaning about Delaware right now. Why doesn't Delaware have early voting? Why can't you vote any other day but one stinking day in Delaware? One day.
Wow.
That should be outrageous to them.
I don't know.
You would think.
Do you want, I don't know what these other examples are, but he's digging through. If you
For
want.
Tapper?
Yeah. Do you want to see any more of these?
Yeah, we'll do it in just a minute.
Cool.
First, let me tell you about Patriot Mobile. Because we want to thank Patriot Mobile for their support. Whether it's this show, other conservative hosts, Turning Point, CPAC, March for Life, these guys are there supporting all of it because they're fully in the trenches with the rest of us. That's why I'm proud to partner with Patriot Mobile. It's America's only Christian conservative cell phone provider, and want you to partner with them as well. They offer broad nationwide coverage. In fact, they use the same towers as the major carriers, so you get the same great nationwide coverage. Plus, you get the peace of mind that your money isn't supporting left-wing causes. Patriot Mobile has plans to fit any budget, and their 100% U.S.-based customer support team, which I love too. That is so great. Provides exceptional customer support. More importantly, Patriot Mobile shares your values. They support organizations fighting for religious freedom, for constitutional rights, for the sanctity of life, and our veteran and first responder heroes. Go to patriotmobile.com/Pat or call 972-PATRIOT. Get free activation when you use the offer code PAT. Veterans and first responders save even more. So make the switch today. Support a company that loves America and shares your values. Patriot Mobile. PatriotMobile.com/Pat. PatriotMobile.com/Pat or 972-PATRIOT.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Hey, Pat, Rob digging through the archives there. Okay, so this is another Tapper voting clip here where he's talking with the new mayor, Eric Adams of New York City.
All right.
Watch this. I think you'll like this.
You announced last night that you're going to support a law passed last month in New York City, which will allow roughly 800,000 legal non-citizens to vote in local elections, provided that they've lived in New York for at least 30 days. You previously called the bill problematic and expressed concern about giving a right to vote to non-citizens who have only been here for a short amount of time. I think there are a lot of Americans watching right now who might share your concerns and also have more broadly questions about the idea of people who have not taken a citizenship test, prepared for that test by learning about the U.S., who haven't sworn an oath to the country, getting to vote. Why did you change your mind, and why is it acceptable for non-citizens to vote in an American election?
What?
No, I did not change my mind. I supported the concept of the bill. The one aspect of that I had a problem with, and I thought was problematic, was the 30-day part. Being in the country for 30 days was the place that I had questions. And I sat down with my colleagues.
A whole 30 days.
I'm a big believer in conversation. We have to start talking to each other and not at each other. And after hearing their rationale and their theories behind it, I thought it was more important to not veto the bill or get in the way at all and allow the bill to move forward. In New York City, just Brooklyn, for example, 47% of Brooklynites speak a language other than English at home when I was the borough president. And so I think it's imperative that people who are in a local municipality have the right to decide who's going to govern them. And I support the overall concept of that bill.
Doesn't the bill just make a mockery of the idea of American citizenship, though? I mean, this is just for local elections, but does that mean, like, next New York City is going to want non-citizens to vote in federal elections? I mean, and what do you say to all the people who went through the process, the difficult process of becoming an American citizen, studying for the test, swearing an oath of allegiance to the United States of America, who now see this legislation just saying, well, anyone who's here, you can go ahead and vote.
Awesome.
Well, I say to them, keep doing it. Membership has its privileges.
No,
being a
doesn't.
member of what we call United States of America is a great privilege, and I would tell them, keep doing it, be encouraged. This is a great opportunity to be a member of this great country. Don't let anything
What a
daunt
BS
you and
answer.
take you away from that mission. This legislation is not going
But
to
what's
do
he going to
that.
say?
Keep becoming a citizen of this country.
I'm guessing he didn't expect that when he took the interview on CNN. Hey, Jake Tapper wants you on CNN. Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll be a cake.
What are we going to talk about?
You're going to talk about voting rights.
Oh, cool. All right. I can do that.
Yeah, great. And then he gets asked some tough questions. Now, see, that's the Jake Tapper of old.
Thank you.
That would ask Democrats difficult questions,
Right.
just like he would Republicans. And we'd get pissed off at him when he asked the Republicans those questions, but then he would bolster his credibility by doing the same thing to Democrats.
I wonder if
he hasn't done that lately until this.
Did he look in the mirror and say, I've got to stop saying the phrase January 6th?
Maybe.
I got to get off the January 6th thing. It's bringing this
Right.
network down even further, and I don't want to go down with that ship. But 800,000 non-citizens voting now in New York City.
800,000. Think of that.
Because remember, when you don't speak English, that's your ticket to ride to the voting booth, apparently.
Unbelievable.
According
It's
to
unbelievable.
The new mayor there.
That is unbelievable.
Well, they need a voice.
No.
What the hell?
Well, become citizens, and then you can have a voice.
Thank you. Membership has its privileges. Well,
Right,
not voting.
They're not part of the membership. The membership is citizenship. That's the membership, and it does have its privileges. So become a member, become a citizen, and then you can vote. You can, and Tapper's right. This applies to the local elections right now, but you know darn good and well it's going to be state elections, and then it's going to be federal elections.
Yeah, it's going to be. Well, why do you hate?
It's just first step.
Yeah, why are you boxing them out? Of
you can't do
the
that.
Presidential election. What is that all about?
Right. You're saying these people have the right to vote for a city alderman, but they can't vote for president of the United States?
Are you saying that the president doesn't affect their lives as much as the mayor of New York?
That will happen. It will happen. It's just a matter of time. It's how long? Will it be next year or will it be 2024? But it's going to be soon. It'll be soon if they don't put a stop to it. And they're not going to, apparently, because the new mayor changed his mind on it.
I love how
I didn't change my mind.
Yeah, I sat and I talked. I listened to their concerns. No. No, they reminded you who got you elected.
Yeah.
I think is what it was, and said, hey, if you want to be reelected later on, then you're going to support this, man.
And it's too bad because the guy seemed to have some common sense.
Like 5 minutes, right?
Yeah, for
Maybe
about 5 minutes,
6
he had some
minutes
common sense.
Tops.
He was against the mandates and all of that kind of stuff, it seemed. And
we're going to stop crime.
And then the crime deal, the voting thing, and now he's already backtracking.
He's going to be
too
good.
bad. That's too bad. 888-900-3393. President Biden's approval rating hit a new low in the latest Harvard Capps Harris poll as the White House faces crises on multiple fronts. Biden's approval rating fell to 39% in the poll. 39%, which was released exclusively to The Hill. Well, good for them, man. That is such a feather in your cap that you got this poll and nobody else did. Of that, just 18% of registered voters said they strongly approve of the job he's doing. 18%. Of course, I don't know how even 1% strongly approves of this guy.
Right. Yeah, there was a separate poll, not to take you off of this one here, but like 11% of the people surveyed gave him an A, a grade of an A in his first year.
Yeah, I've got that poll too.
What was the F? How many gave him an F?
Let's see. Just 37%.
Just 30%?
37% of voters give Biden's first year an F.
Oh.
11% give him an A.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
Wonder how many
crazy.
gave
That's
him.
greay.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it's not high enough for me, though.
But who are these people? I give him an A.
Good. He's good. He's
It's
good.
left-wing Jeffies. Give him an A. A for effort.
Wait, A? Okay, don't think about it.
Anyway, his 53% said they somewhat or strongly disapprove. I mean, he's way underwater in this poll. And it's down 6 points from his approval rating in the same poll in November when he was at 45%. So he's slipping quickly, and people are becoming disgusted with him because A, he's a buffoon, B, he's a Marxist, and C, he's brain dead. So that's a lot going against him.
There's a lot going against him.
A lot.
There, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's tough to overcome that as president of the United States. Biden got his worst marks on the economy in this other poll. His worst marks came on the economy, immigration, and restoring unity. No kidding. This was the guy who was going to restore unity to America. Has he done anything to unify? Not that I can think of. Not that I've seen.
Well, we're unified on how much he sucks.
That's about it.
According to these polls.
That's about it. 40% flunking him in the latter two categories. 38% giving him an F on the economy. His best grades came on COVID-19 and healthcare. 35 and 31%, respectively, gave him an A or a B. Only 35 or 31, that's still not good. Mm-hmm. A larger share of voters gave Biden an F in this poll than they gave Trump his first year. And Trump had to deal with a media where 90% of their coverage was negative.
Right.
That's a big difference. So this is really something.
Yeah. Well, we're like...
he's in trouble with the American people.
We are, 370 days in, and only 1,091 to go, something like that.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
We could just write...
That's like kicking us right where we live, Keith. Thank you.
Cresting the hill there.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that. Wow, 370 days. We got 1,000-something left.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Like 1,091.
I can't believe it's that long.
Yep.
Sorry
about that.
Let's go to Rod in New Hampshire. Hey, Rod, you're on the Blaze.
Yes, gentlemen. Hey, there's already a lawsuit against New York City and the state of New York because New York Constitution specifically states you have to be a citizen.
Oh, wow. So how can they get away with this is what you would be thinking after hearing that. I didn't realize they had a constitutional
Hang on a second.
amendment against it.
Okay,
so the New York Constitution says you have to be a citizen to vote.
Correct.
Okay, but you and Rod have both used this big word that I'm not familiar with in this discussion.
Yeah.
What was it you said, a constitution? What is that, Rod? I'm not following.
It is something most people don't pay attention to anymore, Keith. So it's kind of an old-fashioned
archaic type thing.
Yeah, Rod and I are quite clearly old people.
Olden times talk.
All right, thanks, Rod. That's an interesting fact that the New York Constitution says you must be a citizen.
It seems pretty cut and dry then.
Yeah. You can't do that. I'm sorry. Then you can't do it. Period. Interesting. Is there a number of people can call, Ivan?
It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. In Canada, Justin Trudeau is getting a little frustrated with the unvaccinated because I'll tell you why.
Oh.
This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
Is it? I don't think we have time for the
Oh, has he talked too much?
We have a time for the French clip here, if you want to see that one first, the shorter one.
All right, let's see the French shorter.
Oui,
yes, we'll get through this pandemic by vaccination, and yes, we all know some people that have certain ideas about it. But we will continue to convince them, but there are some people that are fiercely against vaccination. Interviewer, they're extremists. Yeah, they don't believe in science, they're off. Oh my gosh, pause it for a second.
Frenchie.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Back that up and just play those last 10 or 15 seconds. That's crazy.
Justin Trudeau's words.
That is absolute crazy talk. Some people fiercely against it. Those are extremists. They do not believe in science. They're often misogynist, often racist as well.
This guy who allegedly groped a woman and wears blackface on a regular basis is telling us that if you don't get a vaccine...
Misogynist and racist, yeah. Where does misogyny or racism come into play with the stupid vaccine?
That I don't know.
Are you kidding me? Wow. If you didn't see what's going on right now, you just wouldn't believe it. You just would not believe it.
Blaze Radio Network.
Some tweets here. Carl Smith tweets, Peter Doocy My new favorite stupid SOB.
Yeah.
Coffee Lover M. I'm feeling a tad let down. Pat didn't invite me along on his vacation. Right?
Yeah.
Just about did. Coffee Lover M.
You know what? Yeah.
Just
Do
about
not
did.
come.
Yeah.
Me too.
Do not come.
Me and Coffee Lover M are the only two people that didn't get
The only ones.
signed
Everybody
up
else.
for this
Corby's
trip.
coming.
What?
Rob and Nathan in the other room. They're all coming.
Is that right?
Yeah, I couldn't think of anybody else to invite.
Is Jeffy?
Yeah, Jeffy will be there.
What? No, Jeffy's supposed to be filling in for you.
The person who cleans the building all by themselves is
Claudia?
150,000 square foot thing.
She's
Yeah,
go-
Claudia's coming.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. Yeah, she's great. So
That's well. Wait a minute.
don't put too much.
Do you mean
thought
a house
into it.
set? I could watch over
No.
everything.
Again, there's no
No way for me to get
roads
there. Right,
between our
yeah,
homes.
shoot.
So unmitigated giblet gall tweets. So Pat has an entourage. What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Rowdy introvert. As a kid, I remember going to a restaurant and the hostess would always ask, smoking or non-smoking?
Right.
How many years until hostesses start asking masking or non-masking?
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something.
Okay, so masks here in Texas, wherever we go, are not required. They're just not. Generally speaking, that's the case. I am seeing more and more right now, and they're voluntarily wearing them. But a lot of people around here, have you noticed that? Are
Around
wearing the masks
in
now.
the building or
No, just in the metro area.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have.
And that was
because I think they're scared.
But that was before this Omicron scare. I'd say in the last couple months now, it's kind of been a thing again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that they've successfully scared the crap out of them. Again, that everybody's going to get this and we're all going to die. You know, that's a mindset in some people's heads.
Isn't that amazing how the fear can take root just like that? Like it doesn't need a lot of stats or anything, just
for sure.
spread like fear. But now you've got officials saying, yeah, the cloth masks don't work. Mm-hmm. You know, but that doesn't seem to register.
No, it doesn't.
Like that stuff doesn't register. It's only the fear stuff.
Yeah. And then you have idiots like Trudeau in Canada who is saying that if you're unvaccinated, we should play this again. This is absolutely astounding to me that the head of a nation would say this about, 30 or 40% of his people. Who knows how many people? I mean, there's a lot of people still unvaccinated in Canada. Here's what he had to say, though, in French. Yeah, we'll get through this pandemic with the vaccination. And yes, we all know some people have certain ideas about it. Pause it for a second. Okay, he's trying to be, I guess this is the calm Trudeau. Some people have some certain ideas about it. Yeah, they do. Pardon us for not feeling comfortable about having a mixture of no one knows what jammed into our bodies. And because of that, you're going to call people misogynist and racist? Ugh. Tell me what's in the vaccine. Why won't you do that? Why can't we hear what's in it? Why can't we be more transparent about what has happened with some of the side effects? You do those two things. You open things up and let us examine it rather than shutting everybody down for even asking a simple question. And then you might have some people that say, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. And it's not just shutting down people that might have questions about it. It's also shutting them out of their livelihoods, shutting them out of their educational opportunities, shutting them out of large swaths of society.
Yeah.
If you won't put this thing that you know nothing about into your body.
You know nothing about, and there is no way to find out about it except from them. The whole thing sucks. If they would just be open, if they would just be honest, but they can't. They're skulking around like they're doing something wrong, and the chances are they're doing that because they are doing something wrong. I mean, this is unbelievable. Here's what he had to say. Finish this off. We'll continue to convince them, but there's some people fiercely against vaccination. Then, yeah, they're extremists. They don't believe in science. They're often misogynist, often racist as well. Small group that occupies a loud space. And there's a decision that needs to be made as a leader, as a country. Do we tolerate these people, or do we say, well, come on, the majority of people, because 80% of Quebecers did, but they have to get vaccinated and want to get back to do things like we like to do. It will not be these people that will block us.
Ooh.
So what does that mean?
I don't know.
What are you going to do about it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to deport everybody who won't be vaccinated? What are you saying there? First of all, calling them as... I don't even know how you make
There's
that
so
tie
much
in.
here.
How do you make that?
The guy's off the rails.
That's terrible.
Oh, by the way, there is a trucker strike. Truck drivers don't like the vaccine mandates, and they are currently headed from west to east across the country toward Ottawa. And right now, they're still in Western Canada, I believe. Probably Alberta about now. Anyway, it stretches 70 kilometers long, this convoy of truckers.
So there's no way to tell how long that is. Could be a block. Could be 8,000 miles. I don't know.
Could be.
There's no way to tell.
We really have no idea.
Stupid.
It sounded like a good stat, so I threw it out there.
I mean, if it was like 45 miles long or something,
if.
Then you could say, oh, okay, wow, that's a long traffic jam.
You could say that.
You could.
If it were 45
if there
miles
were any
long.
way to know how long it actually is, to put it into American terms.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's 45 miles long, and it's stretching. It's headed east. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Pushback on Trudeau.
Jeez, pathetic. All right. What he also
had
another
something to say
in English, right?
Yeah.
Glenn McGregor, CTV News. Prime Minister, there's still a significant population in Canada that's refusing to get vaccinated despite all the things you've done, travel restrictions, vaccine mandates, you coming out here at press conferences imploring them to get their shots. In France, they're bringing in new measures with what President Macron calls his intent to piss them off. Wondering what you were going to do that you haven't tried already to reach these people who are continuing to clog up the ICUs.
I'm going to call them names.
Well, I think, first of all, we do have to recognize.
With these people who are continuing to clog up ICUs. Really? There are no vaccinated people clogging up the ICUs? Get out of here. It's been shown, and everybody knows now, that the vaccine does virtually nothing against the Omicron variant. Everybody's getting it, vaccinated and unvaccinated. It's impossible to, with a straight face and not be a lying sack of crap, it's impossible to say that this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated because everybody is getting it. Yeah, everybody.
And if you really, to take it back to Joe Biden, if you really want to unite us, then stop saying that it's a pandemic of the unvaccinated when it's clearly not.
Yeah.
You look for opportunities to divide us, man. The only thing we're united on at this point is how much you suck, Joe. Sorry, we're talking Trudeau. He sucks too.
Yes, he does. And he had more to say.
Ready to reach these people who are continuing to clog up the ICUs.
Well, I think, first of all, we do have to recognize that the vast majority of Canadians have stepped up, have been there to get themselves vaccinated, to protect
They've been obedient
their loved ones,
to their overlords.
Frontline health workers. And that is significant. We're amongst the top countries in the world in terms of citizens stepping forward to do the right thing. So it's not just about governments and health workers frustrated that there are Canadians who still continue to choose to not get vaccinated.
It's
bad fellow
people.
Canadians
They're just
as well.
bad people. Yeah.
When
They're bad
people
people.
are seeing cancer treatments and elective surgeries put off because beds are filled with people who chose not to get vaccinated, they're frustrated.
There you go again.
When people see
nobody
that
who's
we're in,
vaccinated is taking up
lockdowns
a
or
bed.
Serious public health restrictions right now because the risk posed to all of us by unvaccinated people, people get angry. And we have put forward many, many different measures.
I mean, you're just trying to piss people off.
To incentivize, to educate, to
and they just won't listen. Boneheads.
To remind people that it's never too late to do the right thing. It's never too late to go and get your first dose of vaccine. I can tell you that frontline health worker who's giving you your first dose of the vaccine, even now in January 2022, will be immensely pleased to be able to give you that first dose of vaccine even today.
I don't think that's the
because
issue.
Because they'd much
Justin.
rather be giving you an injection of vaccine than intubating you in an ICU.
Oh, wow. And those are the only two choices, of course. You can either get injected with a vaccine or you can be intubated in an ICU bed because you're about to die. It's one or the other.
I've spent the last 2 minutes and 44 seconds looking for something to break.
I know. It's crazy. I just got this stupid virus, and I didn't clog up anybody's ICU unit. I'm unvaccinated. I got COVID-19 just like everybody else is getting, and I didn't go to the hospital. I didn't clog any system up, and I didn't have to be intubated in an ICU unit. These guys are despicable. Wow. I mean, could they be any worse on this virus? I don't see how. Jeez. From Canada to Australia, where you're locked down completely. You can't go certain places. You can't go almost anywhere if you're unvaccinated in Australia. And they'll go door to door. And if you're not vaccinated, they'll take you away to what's essentially a concentration camp for unvaccinated people. Wow. We're just going off the rails as a civilization. But if you're trying to sell your home in this off-the-rails civilization, you're going to need a really good realtor. And they're fans of the show, so they're probably not going to worry about whether or not you've been vaccinated. They're probably going to just mind their own business and show you around the homes that are available. Or if you're trying to sell your home, they can give you the great advice that you need on what to do to get your home ready for the market. There might be an open house or two, but they're not going to jam that down your throat every weekend so that you can keep your house immaculate and then stay somewhere else. Real Estate Agents I Trust. These are realtors with great track records, with great marketing plans, and who are common sense, really good, salt of the earth people. Go to realestateagentsitrust.com. The name says it all. realestateagentsitrust.com.
Pat Gray is unleashed.
And also, I just learned today that because I'm not vaccinated, I'm a misogynist racist.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about myself until just now. Thank you, Justin Trudeau.
We're learning.
Yeah, we are. We're learning as we go. Mm-hmm. And the elites have a lot to teach us, Don't you feel like Justin Trudeau is where all wisdom originates?
Well,
right there at Justin Trudeau. He is the well of wisdom.
We have recently switched to drinking water bottles
out
of water when we have water bottles out of plastic. Away from plastic towards paper.
Box.
Like drink box water bottles, sort of.
Drink box water bottle sort of thing.
What a stupid son of a bitch.
Corby, quick on pulling that one.
There it applies.
Oh, look at that's a 1-2 punch from Robin Corby.
So great. But you heard from the well of wisdom.
I thought the well of wisdom
right
was
there.
Anthony Fauci. No?
No, I think it just switched to Justin Trudeau.
Okay. My bad.
Jeez. Or there could be two wells of wisdom.
Well, I thought the wells of wisdom were at Davos right now, planning our future. That's what my understanding was.
Is Davos going on right now?
Yeah, so they had this thing, and
pay attention to that.
Yeah. So I don't know, some elitist lady, self-proclaimed. I'm not just throwing that word out there. You got to see this clip. Listen to this. Oh God.
At Davos a few years ago, the Edelman survey showed us that the good news is the elite across the world trust each other more and more.
Elite.
So we can come together and design and do beautiful things together.
And she's obviously one of them.
The bad news is that in every single country they were polling, the majority of people trusted that elite less.
The elite less.
So we can lead, but
wait, what?
You can lead, but
we're not listening.
What?
So that's where we're going to leave that.
Wow. And she clearly believed herself to be among the elites. That's great.
No, I'm sorry. The elite.
Yeah.
Elite trust each other.
Wow.
So let's use brain cells before we post things on the internet. Thanks.
But if the plebes don't, then what can we do?
Well, you can't do anything.
Of sorts.
Because people are too stupid, to be led by the elite people who know better than we do. It's like the sheep not following the rancher. It's really sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad because they're trying. They're
Yeah.
trying to keep us safe.
Did you want to see, speaking of elites, did you want to see the Fauci clip that's going to melt your heart?
All right.
You're going to love this. Watch this.
Does any of this make you want to leave your post, leave your
MSNBC.
job? What does your family say?
Don't leave your job, please.
Well, obviously, it's very stressful on my family, my wife, and my children, the continual attacks and the ad hominems that are related to nothing but pushing back on the public health principles that I talk about. But this is too important. This is the kind of thing that I've devoted my entire career.
Yeah, he's too important to this
certainly over
cause.
the last 40 plus years in public health, science, and medicine. And we are in a crisis right now. And there's no chance I'm going to walk away from this. This is something
it's
that's
just too important. It's just something
Well,
he's
I am
talking about
sincerely
himself.
appreciative that you are not walking away from this post.
Amazing.
You make us smarter and
Yeah.
safer and better every day. Thank
Every
you so
day.
much, Dr. Fauci.
Every day. Wow. Wow. I mean, she's almost on her knees worshiping him.
I, for one, am appreciative that
Good
you're not walking
golly.
away. You make us smarter and better and stuff. And these people.
And he's just so important. I mean, nobody loves Anthony Fauci more than Anthony Fauci. It's not possible.
Yeah, light that candle.
Yeah.
Light that candle for
Anthony.
Anthony.
This is what he thinks of himself, seriously.
Saint
I wouldn't be
Fauci.
surprised if he made these candles.
Right.
And that's why he has one in his office. He has the original.
Yeah.
That all these others came from.
It's on the shelf behind his desk. Yeah.
He's just too important to step down. The world would go to hell in a handbasket. Too many people would die because he left.
I'm willing to try. I'm willing to see what happens if he just goes
Well,
away.
he's not. Fortunately, Keith, he's not. Too important.
Yeah.
I'm just too important. I am science.
You make us smarter.
Wow. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Welcome. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Don't forget to rate 5 stars and subscribe and let everybody you know or everybody you've ever encountered, let them know about the Pat Gray podcast.
Wait
Pat
a
Gray
minute.
Unleashed.
This. So everyone you've encountered.
Mhm.
So like even if you're in line at the checkout.
Yes. Tell them about,
Wow.
hey, have you
So you're good with that.
heard Pat Gray Unleashed? Yeah.
Huh.
Well, yeah.
So
something this important?
Small talk.
That's not small talk. That's big talk.
I
That
see.
is big talk.
Yes, big talk.
Big, important talk. So, yes. Go ahead and do that. In line at the supermarket. Here's what you can do when the clerk says, "How's your day going?"
Oh.
So far.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got 2 ways to go. It's great because I just listened to Pat Gray Unleashed.
Okay.
And you should too. Or you could say, it's not very good now, but I'm looking forward to it becoming a lot better because I'm going to listen to the Pat Gray Unleashed podcast.
It'll sound so organic.
It will. Yes, it will.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right.
And
So-
you know what? And then also video yourself doing that. Tag us.
Right.
At Pat Unleashed, at Keith Malinak on Twitter. And then
Then you'll be world famous. We'll put it on.
We'll watch that video and we'll see you promoting
Exactly.
the show.
Pretty awesome.
Make it happen, y'all.
Right? Okay, so a guy named Sam Shaw posted this over the weekend.
Yeah.
It is
So he got some junk mail. We all get junk mail, right?
Uh-huh.
And he said, "This is the funniest junk mail I've ever received in my inbox."
from Weber Grills.
Yeah.
Please accept our apologies, our sincerest apologies. And then
What'd they do? It sounds bad.
it does sound bad.
That sounds real bad. I mean, that's a weird junk mail to get.
Dear Sam, they write, this morning you received our weekly recipe of the week email, which is sent to you every Friday.
Oh, yeah.
In today's email, we highlighted a grilled meatloaf recipe.
Oh, no, honey.
At the time we shared the recipe with you, we were not aware of the unfortunate passing of American singer and actor Mr. Marvin Lee Aday, also known as Meatloaf.
Oh, no.
We want to express our deepest apologies for this oversight and for any offense this email may have caused. We send our condolences to Mr. Aday's family and fans.
Oh,
Thank you for understanding.
Awkward.
The Weber family.
Awkward. Oh, no. So they probably put it in the queue like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
To send out this grilled meatloaf
I
recipe.
mean, how stupid is that you have to take the time and apologize for that when nobody... I mean, yes, it's an unfortunate coincidence, but please.
No, I got news for
Come on.
Weber Grills and everybody else that sends out spam. Nobody noticed your recipe of the week.
Yeah,
we all
right.
saw it and hit delete.
Yeah.
And then now you make an issue out of it.
It was news to Sam that you send this to him every Friday. He had no idea.
So true.
Meanwhile, legendary musician Neil Young issued an ultimatum to Spotify. You got to choose between my music or Joe Rogan's podcast. Let me think. Joe Rogan's podcast. About that. We just chose. So thank you for the ultimatum.
So you're done?
Yeah.
You don't even
we're
have to
done.
noodle this out?
We're done. See you later. Bye-bye. Take your stupid, crappy music with you.
Old man, look at my life. I'm a lot like you.
Oh, how we'll miss that. Jeez.
Yeah. I'm glad you didn't sing Harvest Moon. That one really,
Young posted an open letter to Spotify, which entered into a $100 million deal with Rogan to host his podcast. What do you think their deal is with Neil Young? I'm going to say somewhat south of $100 million.
Here's 3 cents every time someone plays your song.
Right. That's about it.
Something.
I'm doing this, he says, because Spotify is spreading fake information about vaccines, potentially causing death to those who believe the disinformation being spread by them. Please act on this immediately today and keep me informed of the time schedule.
Okay, Dad.
All right. No, I acted on it the second I read the headline.
I heard you do that.
Yeah.
You've already deliberated in your head.
Joe Rogan. It's just that easy.
You've chosen.
Jeez. This guy thinks a lot of himself, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Rogan has been criticized by many for advocating for alternate treatments. And I would love to know what it is, Young. They should ask him, what misinformation what disinformation are you talking about? What did he do that's going to kill people?
Yeah.
What did he say? Did he tell anybody to do anything? No. He has said, I think for himself, he took ivermectin, wasn't it? Yeah. Or was it hydroxychloroquine?
The whole cocktail.
Yeah, he took everything, and it worked for him. And how is that disinformation if it worked for him?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, there are some things that Rogan will suggest or say that he believes. But for the most part, he literally cracks open a couple of mics and asks questions of his guest, and then they deliver information. What happened to a society where you get to listen to both sides and then choose for yourself? Especially considering Neil Young from the protest movement of the 60s is now lockstep with the government. Go away, you.
It's amazing. I want you to let Spotify know immediately today.
Oh, he's telling this to his management.
That I want all my music off their platform.
Okay.
They can have Rogan or Young, not both.
Okay.
Here's some of the things Rogan has said.
Okay.
Get this. I'm not a doctor. Huh. Well, then you're sort of setting yourself up as maybe not the ultimate authority on this, but you're sharing your thoughts and feelings. Kind of like what people do on, I don't know, a podcast. I'm not a doctor. I'm an effing moron. And I'm a cage fighting commentator who's a dirty stand-up comedian. I'm not a respected source of information, even for me, but I at least try to be honest about what I'm saying. So there you have it.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's not adequate for Neil Young and all the cultists
Thank you.
who love the vaccine so much and who love the mask mandates so much and want to be told every step they can make by the government, tough. Because Joe Rogan's just sharing his thoughts and feelings on the air. That's what you do. This is America.
Yeah, I have an update in Spotify. Apparently, and unfortunately, Neil Young's catalog still available.
Jeez.
That's too bad.
Yeah, it is too bad. Wow. There's
But
a lot of people suffering through that right now.
You're right about it just being another member of the cult.
Yeah. And for him to think, I'm so important and my music is so critical to people's lives that I can force them to get rid of a guy they just signed for $100 million. Okay. Good luck with that. Good luck with that, Neil.
Oh, you got another cult member in your hand there, I see.
Yeah, another Whoopi Goldberg apparently yesterday was pissed off at, and here it is, liberals eating their own once again, which I love. But in this case, it's a little irritating because Bill Maher was making some really serious sense. And we played that for you yesterday. He and Bari Weiss were talking about COVID and how they're done with it. And most people are done with it. And they're done being panicked. And they're done with the lockdowns and the mandates and the mask wearing and all of that stuff. And now it's like, okay, let's just live our lives. And this is just going to be any other disease that circulates in our society. We have to get to that point eventually because they've said multiple times we're not going to be able to eradicate it. All right, well, then we're going to have to live with it. But she went off on Bill Maher yesterday.
So not just people on the fringe either who are speaking out like this. And over the weekend, Bill Maher made a case for people who are vaccinated, boosted, and have been following the rules since all of this started. Take a look.
I don't want to live in your paranoid world anymore, your masked paranoid world. You know, you go out, it's silly now. You know, you have your mask, you have to have a card, you have to have a booster, they scan your head. Like you're a cashier and I'm a bunch of bananas. I'm not bananas, you are.
That's not really funny to people who've lost their kids to this vaccine, or people who've lost family members.
She misspoke. Pause that.
To your friend.
That's not really funny to parents who have lost kids to this vaccine. She meant virus. But thanks for pointing that out, Whoopi.
Yeah, that people have lost.
I would like to know
kids to the vaccine.
I want to find out the comparison. In fact, I have a text drafted. I need to send this right now to someone who might know. I want to know how many kids have died from the vaccine compared to how many. We know it's less than 1,000 in the United States that have died from COVID. I would love to know that comparison. So I will.
Well, I doubt they're going to admit that any kids have died from the vaccine.
I'm sure somewhere in VAERS there's a tally.
Maybe.
Yeah. So I just sent that text to Steve Dace, who you can hear later today here on The Blaze, and let's see if he knows the number off the top of his head. Anyway,
she had more to say.
This vaccine, or people who've lost family members or dear friends to this. It's just, listen, nobody on the planet really wants to go through this. This is not something we're doing because it's, sexually gratifying. This is what we're doing to protect our families.
I wonder.
And you don't have to do it, but stay away from everybody.
No,
because if you're the one who's not paying attention, and you're coughing and sneezing, you don't want to, then stay out of the public, man. This is not, nobody wants this. I don't want it. And I think it's forgetting that people are still at risk who cannot get vaccinated. People who can't get that. Little kids under the age of 5. Yeah. Or people with health conditions. How dare you be so flippant, man?
They're over it, like a relationship. I'm over it. I don't feel like seeing it anymore.
To the post-mask part, because I think there's a prudence we've learned with the mask, the hand sanitizing, that kind of like 9/11 with flying is always going to be here now. There's a new normal. In the beginning, when at post 9/11, people didn't want to fly, and the security measures felt like, how do we do this? And now it's the norm. I think some of the things we've learned in this pandemic are going to stay the same. I may never ride a subway again without a mask. I may never go indoors to big crowds and never feel comfortable without a mask, and that's up to me to do that.
Yes!
That's up to you to do that.
I like that, yes.
Right. That's the key there.
That's the key.
Government forcing you to do any of these things. Like, I don't care if you got just stay home. No.
Hey, you keep doing that. That's a new impersonation there, Whoopi. That's actually very good, considering it's on the fly. You've never done it before. No. That's good stuff. I just want to take an aside here and point out that needs to be in more on trivia. Like, which celebrity voice?
Name this celebrity voice.
I'll tell you something.
Oh, that's Whoopi.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Did I
Bang.
get a win?
Ding,
Did I
ding,
win?
ding, ding, ding,
Yay.
ding. We should make a rule. If you can get that voice and correctly identify it, you win the game.
Your team wins
team
for
is
the week.
just
Yeah.
won for the week. And Moron Trivia is just automatically over. You win. 888-900-3393. Let's go to Ron in Virginia. He's got some thoughts on the Biden SOB speech. Comment.
Hey, Pat. Hey, Keith. How we doing? Hey. I caught Biden's little SOB speech yesterday, and some networks are saying this is a gaffe. This is not a gaffe.
No.
This is who he is. Look at when he was campaigning. He got up in that UAW's face about taking guns. He's shouting at another another person last week. Tell him he gets upset when he's questioned with hard questions.
Yeah, like how dare you question me? That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's like a little kid. He gets upset. I'm going to take my ball and go away. I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, exactly right. Appreciate it, Ron. Thanks. I mean, there's moments like that where he called Peter Doocy the SOB. Moments like this.
Look, Fat, look, here's the deal.
Look, Fat, look. And he challenged the guy to a fight or a race or
Push-ups.
whatever.
Push-ups, yeah.
I mean, he was seriously pissed at that guy. Then he was challenged, as Ron said, by the person who was talking about guns. I mean, the guy can't control his emotions anymore. He's lost that ability. He's just a crotchety, brain dead,
Old ass bum in there.
old ass bum in there.
You're not nearly as smart as I thought you were.
Yeah, you're not. Boy, he
All right.
sucks.
Ugh, the worst. Let me tell you about Omega XL, which is the best. If you got some inflammation in your joints and it's causing you pain and maybe altering your life a little bit, the pain in my elbow was making it so that I could barely use my left arm. And I finally broke down and took Omega XL. And I kept thinking, it's all natural. Well, yeah, that's the beauty of it. It's all natural. Their omega fatty acids come from the pristine waters around New Zealand. And what they do is restore SPMs, which are nature's way of keeping your joints healthy. But as we age and as your joints take a beating from just daily use, you start to lose the SPMs. Omega XL can help restore your SPMs and rejuvenate your joints and stop the damage that's being done in your joints. Not only does it hurt, and it can be a little bit debilitating, but there can be permanent damage done if you don't get it taken care of. So give it a try. Go to omegaxl.com/Pat. That's omegaxl.com/Pat or call 800-844-4888.
Pat Gray is here.
Got some tweets here. Gare Bear tweets. Look at demographics and how many from California and other states have fled to Texas. The mask is a litmus test on whether they've moved.
Oh, boy.
Elections are going to be interesting.
I don't like this. Yeah, Beto was close enough to Ted Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like this at all for 2022, whoever he's running against from the Republicans.
Hippie Patriot tweets, I think the draconian leaders of the world are using the vaxxed, unvaxxed narrative to bring back the racism issue so it can blow up again this year.
That's a great point.
Stupid people will believe that unvaxxed are racist. Oh, yeah, I think so, too.
Yeah, who's most vulnerable? Minorities. So you want to kill minorities by not wearing protection?
True. That's how they can tie it in.
Gosh,
they've already done.
That's gonna happen.
They've already done that,
That's
really.
A great point.
888-900-3393. Speaking of the masks, do you know who John Stockton is? John Stockton, one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
Agreed.
Love me some John Stockton. When I lived in Utah, I was a big Jazz fan. I've since pretty much given up on the NBA.
Right.
But Stockton was awesome. Just a nice guy, a humble guy, and one of the greatest basketball players ever. So he's from Gonzaga. And he'd been going to the games because he's a huge fan.
Yeah, support him.
And so he's supporting his old team. And while he did, he didn't put a mask on. And some people took offense to that.
Oh, jeez.
So they actually called him on the carpet. I think it was the president of Gonzaga who had this conversation with him and said, look, John, sorry, but you need to wear a mask or we got to take your season tickets away. Wait, what? Really? How many Hall of Fame basketball players do you have that came from this school? Seems like the count is, I don't know, you could count it on one finger. So really, you're going to do that? And Stockton said the conversation with him was unpleasant, was very unpleasant. Unbelievable stupidity. Stockton told the Spokesman Review, it was the athletic director, Chris Standiford. And so they just said, sorry, you either wear a mask or you can't come to games anymore. And he's decided he's not coming to games anymore. Really something else. Wow. Really pathetic.
Well, what else is pathetic is the fact that these cultists, right? They look at everything through this COVID mask vaccine lens. They don't care about anything else that John Stockton stands for the university. And
no, they don't care.
I'm at the Gonzaga University website, and I find a story from 2017, taking stock. Basketball Hall of Famer is all about others. And so they have
That's what I'm saying. He's a great guy.
Right. So they have this beautiful, long piece about his life and all the great things he's done. But, dear God, if you don't wear a mask, get out. Get out!
Jeez.
People are insane.
In fact, he had multiple conversations with school administrators. Yeah, jeez. He says, basically, it came down to they were asking me to wear the mask to the games, and being a public figure, someone a little bit more visible, I stuck out in the crowd a little bit. This is him just soft-pedaling this. And therefore, they received complaints and felt like whatever, the higher-ups, those weren't discussed, but from whatever it was higher up, they were going to have to either ask me to wear a mask or they were going to suspend my tickets, which is what they wound up doing. Jeez. Because he doesn't want to wear a mask while he's watching a game. I don't blame him. Just, it's asinine. And yet, we're still doing it 2 years later. We're still in that situation. Unbelievable.
It's like Bill Maher said, we're over it. Get on, move on.
Yeah, well.
Whoopi, how dare you say that you're over it? How dare you?
Wait, was that Whoopi or was that Jabba the Hutt? Who are we going with now?
Well, have you ever seen the two of them at a party together?
That's a great point.
Yeah,
I have not.
Maybe. They're one and the same. I'm not sure.
Oh, my
I'm just not sure.
goodness.
I have not seen them at a party together.
Hideous.
Here's something fun that is unbelievable, really. The Hershey Bears is that's a minor league hockey team, and I guess there's a tradition at Hershey with the Bears that the first goal of the day from
I think there's one game every year.
Okay, where they throw teddy bears out on the ice.
Yeah, and then they give them to like underprivileged kids or something like that.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, little stuffed animals and stuff.
This is amazing.
Yeah, so a lot of pent up energy, I guess, in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Because they haven't done this for a while?
Yeah, they haven't done it since 2019 or 2018 or whatever. They skipped a couple of years.
Okay.
And so the other night
we have a look at what happened.
So somebody score a goal and look at all these teddy bears come out, right?
Whoa!
And they end up, if you flash forward to the end of the melee, they set a world record for most objects thrown onto the ice.
Get this. 52,341 stuffed animals.
Awesome! Look at that. That is. I mean, why even play the game after that? We'll pick it back up tomorrow.
Wow.
It takes
how long did it take him to pick all that up?
That's a great question, Pat. Hershey.
52,341 stuffed animals, most of them teddy bears, thrown out on the ice at the Hershey Bears hockey game.
How cool is that?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Let's see. I don't know how long it took them, but well, look at that. Hey, they won 5-0, so congratulations.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Yeah, it does.
I try to follow the Hershey Bears.
Who's your favorite player?
I couldn't pick just one. That's like picking your favorite child. You can't.
Wait a minute.
Can't do it.
How about the guy who scored the first goal there? Tell me how much you love Alex Johnson.
I love Alex.
Falbleby.
Nice pronunciation there on his last
Axel
name.
Johnson.
Axel. I just call him Axe. And yeah.
I mean,
yeah. He's really good though.
Here's the last part of his last name. FJ, an A with those two little dots over it.
Mm-hmm.
So he's obviously from, over there.
Norway.
Yeah.
Finland.
FJALLBY. Fialbi.
No idea.
I still don't know how long it took him to clear the ice, by the way.
It's a lot of stinking bears, though.
That's cool. I love that.
That's kind of fun. 888-933-93. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
On the Blaze Radio Network.
There's a new poll out about potential candidates in the 2024 presidential primary for Republicans. And guess who dominates that scene?
Gosh, I couldn't begin to.
You can't think, right?
Even.
You're probably thinking Lindsey Graham, or no? You're not thinking Lindsey Graham?
No,
weird.
I wasn't thinking. I don't think anybody's thinking Lindsey Graham.
Donald Trump.
Oh,
of
what?
Course. Donald Trump leads the poll in a hypothetical 8-person GOP presidential primary. Trump holds quite an edge. 57% of Republican voters support him. Ron DeSantis and former Vice President Mike Pence are next at 12 and 11%.
Gosh, do you
57 to 12 over DeSantis. Wow.
Do you look at that poll if you're Ron DeSantis and think, all right, maybe now's the time I say,
hey, you know what? If he runs, I'm not going to run against him. You should. He probably should. No other candidate got double-digit support. Now, if former President Trump doesn't run, DeSantis leads 30 to 24. I'm surprised it's that close between he and Pence. Really, Mike Pence?
What does Pence
seriously? I don't know. I don't know. That surprises me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I just feel like
there was a time when I thought Pence would be a really good candidate, like 2006, 2007, but that time's passed.
Right. I'm more hung up on the Trump stuff with independent voters and how the machine just figures out a way to defeat Trump in 24. I fear.
No, I don't think so.
One way or another. I'm talking about by hook or by crook.
They're going to try to steal it from him.
Figure out a way.
Yeah. So 30 for DeSantis, 24 for Pence, and then third place, trailing way behind at 14% is Ted Cruz. Interesting. And again, it's like we've said, those who ran against Trump last time are kind of done. Although Pence is doing pretty well. But that's because he was the vice president, I think, for Donald Trump.
Name recognition, maybe?
Name recognition. He's an ally. Yeah, although Trump's not happy with him because of
Pence is
stuff that Pence wouldn't do that he wanted him to do.
There's not a chance Pence wins.
No, I don't think
nomination.
So either. I don't think so either.
No. I'm sure Trump would pick him though, right? It'd be totally a Trump-Pence.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. In a hypothetical head-to-head matchup against Joe Biden.
Okay, here we go.
Trump leads that 46-40.
It shouldn't be that close.
No, but still, I'll take it. Any victory.
What's head-to-head?
Take it.
DeSantis, Biden. We got that?
DeSantis, meanwhile, polls nearby even against Harris. Let's see.
46-40
okay,
Trump over Biden.
So Trump leads 46-40 over Biden. He leads 49-39 over Harris. I'm surprised it's that close. Meanwhile, DeSantis in a hypothetical matchup would be 40% to Harris's 39%. But what about Biden? I don't see where.
They're just like, the pollsters like, yeah, he's not going to be there in 24.
Yeah.
Don't even poll that question. I don't know, man. It's
interesting.
And let's just say through no fault of his own, Trump has these liabilities. Let's just say he's white as the pure driven snow. Okay. The machine from all angles, I just think that they will find they will be more motivated to keep him out of office than if it's like a DeSantis or someone like that. Just because they hate him so much.
I just have less fear of the cheating thing than you do. I don't think it's going to happen.
What cheating thing? What's this?
The votes, the voting cheating thing.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of that?
That's a thing?
Yeah, it
In
was,
America?
Well, it was a thing.
No, in this country.
Pushed by Sidney Powell.
Oh.
And then at the end of it all, she comes out and says, I can't believe people believed me on that. That's not an exact quote, but it was something to that effect, that she just threw it out there. And you believed that? I wasn't serious. I'm like, okay, I'm done with the whole thing.
Interesting things happen when you get subpoenaed, right?
I don't know. She didn't seem to produce anything.
Yep, well.
That's for sure. She didn't produce a thing. So
2024 is going, as bad as 2020 was, it's going to look like child's play compared to what 2024 is going to be like in this country, I'm afraid.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger had a little mishap in Los Angeles the other day. He had a multi-car crash on Sunset Boulevard. A report from L.A. Police Department detailed that he was driving his Yukon SUV near the intersection.
Whoa, wait a minute. SUV?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at that.
Cool, that's bad.
He just ran over the top of two cars. Wow.
Okay.
That's bizarre. So he was driving the intersection of Sunset Boulevard, Allenford Avenue, when a collision occurred with a red Prius making a U-turn. His vehicle rolled up on top of the Prius and continued to roll, ending up hitting a Porsche Cayenne and another vehicle that were waiting for a light to change. The impact was so severe that his airbags deployed.
Oh, no. Wait, is this the guy who says,
wow,
terminate pollution? And he drives a Yukon SUV?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, that's good to know.
Right, he is.
And let's see. Politicians who ignore the environment are liars. Okay, that's that guy. Okay,
yeah,
that's
that
good.
same guy.
That's that guy. Yeah.
Same guy.
Well, so he
screw freedom or something to that effect.
Screw your freedom.
Screw your freedom.
Right.
Screw
your freedom.
It kills people. And the only way we prevent it is to get vaccinated, to wear masks, to do social distancing, washing your hands all the time. Not just to think about, well, my freedom is being kind of disturbed here. Screw your freedom. Because with freedom comes obligations.
Now listen to his example.
And responsibilities.
Here we
You
go.
cannot just say, I have the right to do X, Y, and Z. When you affect other people, that is when it gets serious. It's no different than a traffic light. We put a traffic light at the intersection so someone doesn't kill someone else.
Otherwise, SUVs would be rolling up on other people's cars.
So these two vehicles were parked at the stoplight, like he pointed out in his example of your freedom stops here because we have responsibilities. And what does he do?
Rolls over the top.
Takes
of
his environmentally unfriendly SUV and just climbs over the top of him.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's great.
That's funny stuff. Screw your freedom.
Oh man, it's sad that he was the guy in Hollywood that was supposed to be the big conservative. He was supposed to be like a saving grace from Hollywood with the Republican Party. This is the man who can make a huge difference with conservatives and bring, somewhat moderate Democrats to the table. And it just turns out he's essentially a Democrat.
Yeah.
Period. The end. Unbelievable. Meanwhile, Washington University in St. Louis says professionalism is racist. Getting so tired of all of this.
So, like, the word professionalism is racist?
An event at Washington University in St. Louis is asking students one question. Is professionalism a racist construct?
Okay.
So the term professionalism, not being professional?
I don't know. This is such gobbledygook from the left again in our educational institutions.
The term professionalism has at times been used to silence and marginalize people of color. What? When attributes of appearance, language, or interactions that have nothing to do with job knowledge or constructive collegial relationships are labeled as unprofessional. Okay.
Who knows?
They're really, they're grasping at straws here. In this context, so-called professionalism is coded language a construct that upholds institutional racist policies and excluding practices. According to the description, the event will focus on dismantling white supremacy and privilege in varied contexts while upholding social justice and advancing effective workplaces in which all contributors can bring their full selves to the job site. That's
so don't. My takeaway is,
my God,
don't set standards so high. This is what they're saying effectively, that minorities are boxed out because we can't expect minorities to be professional.
Which that, by the way, is the racist construct.
Thank you.
Right there. Not the word or the term professionalism. Jeez.
What a...
It's unbelievable.
It is so obvious.
Unbelievable.
How sometimes you just feel like you're not a nut. No, sometimes you feel like you're the only one that recognizes this kind of stuff. It's right there. It's so obvious. You don't need a decoder for this stuff. Why is it so hard for so many Americans to see this stuff for what it is?
I don't know. Probably because they have so much help from the media, from the CNNs, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, NBC News. All of that helps the other side so that people just continue to live in that little liberal bubble. By the way, an armored car company used by a licensed marijuana dispensary in Missouri and other states is suing the federal government, claiming law enforcement agents have illegally seized the dispensary cash the company was transporting. So they just took their money again. The federal lawsuit filed in California last week comes after a sheriff's deputy in Dickinson County, Kansas, stopped one of the company's vehicles last year on I-70 for an unspecified traffic violation and seized almost $166,000 in cash it was transporting from dispensaries in Kansas City, Missouri, to a credit union in Colorado. Now, this is obviously legal stuff. Mm-hmm. They are a dispensary of legal, licensed marijuana, and they got pulled over for nobody knows what reason. And the law enforcement agencies, once again, just took their money. U.S. Attorney's Office in Kansas subsequently filed a civil forfeiture action against Imperial, the company, arguing the seized cash was traceable to sales that violated the Federal Controlled Substances Act. So that case is pending. In October, there was a media outlet that sought records to stop the Dickinson County Sheriff's Office under the Kansas Open Records Act. Meanwhile, they have not returned the money, and they have said they're not going to return the money. It's just another case. And this one is a little bit tougher because marijuana is involved, but it's a company that dispenses this legally in apparently where it's legal in these certain states. And they happen to be transporting cash, and so that was taken from them. I mean, that's a lot of money to a small company. $166,000?
Regardless if it was $1. If it was a dime.
Yeah.
Corby, turn my mic off.
I'm
telling you,
it's
sick
hard
of
to
this.
talk about.
I am
too. Because it's un-American. It's unconstitutional. And it's amazing that it continues to happen over and over and over again, despite the publicity, despite the light being shown on it, that this has been happening all over the country. We're not the only ones talking about this anymore. There's others who are hearing about it, talking about it, and yet they're so bold, they're so confident in what they're doing that they just keep doing it.
Okay, so it was picking up money in just the state of Kansas, or did you say Missouri too? Did you just say...
Yeah, Missouri and Kansas.
So this doesn't get any better, but since they cross state lines, does this not become a federal issue? I'm sure the FBI will get to the...
Oh, the FBI will get to the bottom of it, you bet.
Microphone off.
Yeah, the FBI has shown what a great agency they are for, getting to the bottom of things. They sure got to the bottom of that Gretchen Whitmer
Yeah, that's right.
kidnapping, didn't they?
Yeah, where the federal agent basically
Where it was their idea.
created the whole scenario.
And they enlisted people to go ahead and try to kidnap her.
Yeah,
Remember that?
Right.
Yeah.
But the big stuff, like say, I don't know, like a shooting from a hotel window into a crowd of people below. They'll figure that out. Just like that, right?
Lickety split.
Lickety split. Right. So they'll get all over that. Yeah.
That's been what? 3 years of the Las Vegas shooting? 4?
Oh, 4, 5. Trump was president.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. 4,
Crazy.
5. Anyway.
Absolutely amazing. But it keeps happening. I don't know how to stop this. I don't know what you do to, enforce the U.S. Constitution. And
again, that word.
Maybe people just don't care because this one is a marijuana dispensing company, but they're apparently doing it legally, and they have these armored cars that do transport this stuff. So,
I mean, is the company logo like a marijuana leaf?
I don't know.
I mean, you probably don't want to stand out as you're flying down Interstate 70 through Kansas.
No.
You might want to just have a more nondescript logo. Jeez. I don't know.
And you know that the law enforcement agents were like, all right, we got an easy civil asset forfeiture situation here. Let's pull these guys over and see what they've got.
Mm-hmm.
Sure enough, they found $166,000 in cash.
I am angry.
It's out of control. It's just really out of control. Speaking of which, in Crockett, Texas. You know where Crockett is?
I had to look this up. I found it. In East Texas. It's like halfway between Dallas and Houston, effectively, yeah.
Okay. A Texas woman was arrested after a bizarre encounter inside a Walmart store where she's accused of offering another shopper there $500,000 for the woman's baby. You don't hear about this a lot in the United States of America, but it happened in Texas.
Wait, 500,000?
Yeah, $500,000.
I'm listening. Sorry, Jeffy's not here today. Continue.
Is that in cash?
Yeah, free and clear.
Cash.
Got to pay taxes on it.
Rebecca Taylor was charged with sale or purchase of a child and was released from the Houston County Sheriff's Office on $50,000 bond. The alleged incident occurred at a store, at a Walmart. Mm-hmm. The two women were reportedly in the self-checkout line last week. The mother, who was with her baby and a 1-year-old, told police the woman commented on her son's blonde hair and blue eyes. No, you wanted an adorable baby.
Oh, no.
His blonde hair and blue eyes.
Okay.
And then she said, how much does he cost?
What is happening?
And the mother is like, what? What do you mean? You mean to have him? How much did it cost me in the hospital? No. How much to sell him? She said, I have $250,000 in the car. I'll give it to you right now.
Oh, my.
For your baby.
Oh, my.
Wow. The mother laughed off the comment a little bit at first, but then the woman not only told her she had the $250,000 in the car, but waited for her outside the Walmart. And when the mother came out, she was saying, I'll give you $500,000 then.
Oh, my goodness.
So there was another shopper that heard this exchange, called police, and they arrested this woman. So the moral of that story is, I think, don't try to buy other people's babies.
Oh.
At least not at a Walmart.
I thought the moral...
Yeah, it just doesn't go well.
Yeah, it doesn't go. What if you have a coupon? I thought the moral of the story was going to be... If someone approaches you about purchasing your child, when the story washes out in the end, it'll probably end up being a federal agent.
Okay, that could be too.
It just has that feel like, because that's all they do. That's all the FBI does is set up crimes. They don't solve them. We were this close to solving this case when the guy shot up the place.
Right.
This one, either that or it's some federal agent was trying to entrap a young mother into selling her kid in the parking lot at Walmart.
And here's another takeaway, a potential takeaway from the story. If somebody offers you $250,000 for your baby, hold out.
Hold
Thank
out
you, Pat. Until you get outside the store, and then the offer doubles.
Now, wait. Now, the story, the mom kind of screwed up a little bit there, right? If she had gotten into her car, what then, $750K? And been like, all right, $750. Now, then when you crank up the car, you might be into seven-digit territory.
You're talking $1 million.
Right.
Yeah. You have it on you?
Yeah, let me see.
In cash?
Let me see.
Let's see the
I'm
case.
not unbuckling this child seat device.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it is bad. That's terrible. We shouldn't laugh at something like this.
No.
That is actually incredibly creepy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Incredibly creepy. What?
Yeah, it's amazing how many of these kind of weird things though happen in Texas, isn't it? We have stories like this all the time.
No, Pat. No, I'm not gonna let you get away with this. That's a Florida story. If I've ever heard one, that's a Florida story. See, now maybe people are moving to Florida. Maybe that explains that tweet earlier.
Yeah, that's possible.
Maybe they're moving from Florida to Texas, bringing their crazy.
All right, 888-900-3393. And at Pat Unleashed on Twitter, we got this Paxlovid ad. Paxlovid is this new drug from Pfizer that treats COVID-19, and they said it reduces the chance of death, I think, by 90%.
Oh.
And hospitalization by about the same. So it's supposed to be really effective. Well,
yeah. So they just literally just read the contents of their warnings.
Right. Producer Rob put something together. Now, this is all real.
Uh-huh.
This ad is completely real right up to the end. Check this out.
The COVID-19 pandemic has affected us all. Loved ones have been lost. Millions have gotten sick and weren't able to get the treatment they needed because of overcrowding in hospitals. Now there's a new way to treat mild to moderate coronavirus disease for people over 12, and that's with Paxlovid. Paxlovid's a new tablet from Pfizer designed to treat patients over the age of 12 who are experiencing mild to moderate COVID-19 with positive results of direct SARS-CoV testing and who are at high risk for progression to severe COVID-19, including hospitalization or death. Paxlovid's available by prescription only and should be initiated as soon as possible after diagnosis of COVID-19 and within 5 days of symptom onset. Possible side effects of Paxlovid include impaired sense of taste, diarrhea, high blood pressure, and muscle aches.
Yikes.
Using Paxlovid at the same time as certain other drugs may result in potentially significant drug interactions, so consult with your doctor. Using Paxlovid in people with uncontrolled or undiagnosed HIV-1 infection may lead to HIV-1 drug resistance.
Wait, what?
Do not take Paxlovid if you're taking blood thinners, anti-seizure medications, drugs for irregular heart rhythms, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol, antidepressants, and anti-anxiety medications, immunosuppressants, steroids, including inhalers, HIV treatments, and erectile dysfunction medications. Now there's a way to get your life back.
17!
Ask your doctor to see if Paxlovid is right for you. Paxlovid by Pfizer. Because we don't give a damn if you live or die, just so long as our stock prices rise.
Yeah.
And that is happening. So it's just the very end there that was changed. That's amazing. That Paxlovid, you can't, if you're taking any other kind of medication, you might want to say no thank you to your doctor's recommendation of a Paxlovid prescription.
There's a lot.
Wow.
There's a lot of bases covered there.
That is crazy. You know, it's amazing how many of these drug commercials, though, talk about how, you know, the side effects can be this and that and may even lead to death. I mean, I hear that in, I don't know, 50% of them?
Right, yeah. It's almost like with the vaccine. Tell you what, I'm going to just not take a chance with it. Okay? We're good.
Yeah. Let me take the chance with the disease and not the cure, because the cure sounds like it's pretty brutal at times. Also, on some of the depression medications, one of the side effects is depression or suicidal thoughts.
Hold on a second.
Wait. I thought that's what you were trying to prevent.
What?
It's amazing. An amazing world we live in. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. And Jeffy will be here to chew the fat as well, right here on Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.